Hello, and welcome to the Music Shack podcast. This is episode number 2. This week we are joined by myself, Bruce.
Hannah.
Ron.
And Ed. I wanted to start off this episode with a, with some bad news. Yesterday morning, Pop Smoke was killed in the Hollywood Hills. I wanted to say rest in peace, and my prayers go out to him and his friends and family. So I want to have a moment of silence. Let's get into Billboard.
All right.
So starting with our Artist 100, a lot hasn't really changed. Billie Eilish is still sitting at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Post Malone went up to number 2. Roddy Rich went up to number 3. Green Day re-entered at number 4, thanks to their new album, which is Father of All. And Eminem just went up to number 5. So a lot of people have actually been climbing up the chart within the last week.
Yeah. Justin Bieber's at 6. The Baby's up to 7. Luke Combs is at 8. Taylor Swift's at 9. And The Weeknd's at 10. Onto the 100.
Yeah, the Hot 100.
Yeah, Roddy Rich the Box is still number 1. Future's Life is Good, still number 2. Post Malone Circles, still number 3. Maroon 5, Memories, number 4. Tones and I, Dance Monkey, number 5, right? Yeah, shit.
Don't know how Roxanne's still fucking hanging in there.
Why, where's that at?
On the pop list, it's number 4?
Interesting.
I
Yeah,
still
our Hot
just want to
100,
be cover.
top 5 on the Hot 100 have not changed within the last week. And then our Billboard 200 for our albums.
Is actually, we've got Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial at number 1.
Anyone give that a listen?
I did. It's okay.
Yeah,
For what he was trying to go for, it
Yeah.
does work. Excuse that. Ed forgot to mute the laptop.
Of course I did.
But there were a couple songs on it that I didn't really mind. I want to say I probably liked about half of it.
yeah.
Some songs just felt a little dysfunctional in terms of the way everything was pieced together. Because some of the songs, his flow is kind of sloppy. And the beat was kind of just mediocre in my opinion. But other than that, it's got its place.
Yeah. I mean, I felt The Box was the only song on there worth listening to.
Yeah,
Right.
for the most part.
I think.
That's like the only replayable one in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hollywood's Bleeding went up to number 2. So I got a +3 in terms of movement, which was nice. Eminem with Music to Be Murdered By is still sitting at number 3. Green Day with Father of All re-entered at number 4. And Billie Eilish went up to number 5 with her latest album. So,
Yeah. Lil Wayne Funeral dropped to number 6. Pop Smoke's Meet the Woo 2 winded up being number 7. It's unfortunate that he's not here with us to, celebrate that. So, because that's a big deal.
So, moving on to the rap album for discussion this week.
Yeah. A Boogie with the Hoodies, Artist 2.0.
It's a good one. I enjoyed Stain.
Mm-hmm. I had the baby on it.
It was a fun one to listen to.
Yep.
I love the. I found it a little unique having the different guitar strummings in the background. I get that seeing the song "Me and My Guitar" on the album, obviously it's going to be in there, but I didn't expect what was presented. There was a lot of delicate, slower, gentle things that I really didn't expect from it.
I don't think there was really a song on it that stood out to me as anything worth replaying, in my opinion. A lot of it was repetitive in the sense of it, like, structured throughout everything. Pretty basic structures. And his flow and his genre take on a lot of them are just everywhere, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but like I said, it just didn't really, I think because of that, nothing really stood out to me.
I got you. His, I like his style though. Like with the way that he does mix it up with the singing and the rapping. You know, he does both very well.
I mean,
in my
if
opinion.
you can do it right, by all means.
Yeah.
Did anybody else get early 2000s hip hop or R&B vibes from Thug Love? Or was that just me?
I think that might have just been you. It was a weird song.
It was only that one.
Did you actually pay attention to the lyrics though?
I can only do so much, man.
Because the lyrics for that song are just strange. They're just kind of out there.
Do you have any examples?
Give me 1 second.
While you find your examples, did anybody listen to Numbers and notice the silky, slick flow from featured artist to featured artist?
It's the one way. Yeah. Well, Gunner's he's an up and coming artist who's really good. Roddy Rich is also one of the guys on that track, and he's been trending well. So.
Yeah, I didn't really notice the switch in different artists on that one. I just kind of, when I paid attention to a certain set of lyrics that had indicated that it was a different, like it was a switch in voices. So
You weren't able to pick that up?
No, I really wasn't able to.
Wow.
Well, that... to you, it was that. To me, it's silky slick, just transition to transition from person to person.
Yeah, London did a good job on that one. He's the guy who made the beat.
That's
I thought
something I really look for when I see rappers together, even if it's a featured artist or if they did the whole song together. Like, I want to hear them back and forth. Like, how do we transition from one to the other? Does it sound like a completely different song from one to the next?
Well, Life is Good was completely two different things.
Mm-hmm.
But
they did a remix to that.
Yeah?
Yes.
oh god.
It's Future. He raps through the part that you hear Drake on.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the beat does the switch, Future does the chorus. And then I can't remember if it's Lil Baby or the Baby that drops in first. They smoked the track.
Oh, is it better now?
Yeah?
I don't know if I'd call it better, because I enjoyed Drake on the first one. So I'd call them equal.
I'll have to give the remix a shot. Now, is it actually like a remix, or is it more or less
It's
a
remix.
re-recording?
It's a remix.
Is it?
Yeah.
Different like beat structure, different.
The beats are the same.
Okay.
What Future raps about is different. Like
Okay.
Future's verse is different. And the Baby and Lil Baby weren't on the original.
Well, then it's not necessarily a remix; it's a re-recording.
It's
A remix would imply that they're changing the structure and changing the beat and cutting certain things out, and maybe newer lyrics.
How many hip hop remixes have you listened to?
Plenty to actually understand that. A re-recording, which is essentially what this sounds like, is when you have the same beat and different people on it. I'll play it later, but that to me, with the way you're wording it, it sounds like it's a re-recording,
It's a
but with
remix.
different people.
Anyway, the Suicide Boys dropped an album, Stop Staring at the Shadows. I thought it was a solid album. They used the Bone Thugs and Harmony style throughout the entire album, which was beautiful. I know I sent out Mega Zeph for you guys to listen to.
Dark as fuck.
Very good to listen to.
I'm upset that it's so short. I wanted more of it.
I genuinely thought you might love it. That makes me so happy.
I did enjoy. This is me being biased as well. I did enjoy the screaming at the very end of it, though.
I figured you would.
The song itself is really good, but having that extra intensity and the emotion out of the screaming, it does round out the whole track. Like I said, I'm actually upset that it was as short as it was, for being a minute 40 something.
Yeah, I actually sent it out to you, trying to get you to listen to the rest of the album because I figured
I'm going to.
the
I'm
energy
100%
of it.
going to.
Yeah. And it was funny though, because while I was listening to it, I was thinking of like some of my favorite like high speed rappers and shit. Well, I found out Monday, Twister dropped a 5-piece called Lifetime, and that was great. So it's definitely worth giving a listen to.
What did you like about it?
Twister has this. He uses it's kind of. He'll rap fast, but like in a way that has its own flavor.
Okay.
Like he's got his own style. Yeah. So.
Moving on to Tame Impala's the Slow Rush album. First thoughts?
First thoughts? When I first listened to Tame Impala, the thing that drew me in were those funky bass lines. Like, I'm looking for that groovy, funky, like, I'm walking to it and bobbing my head, enjoying just the bass. I don't even need the lyrics. I just want to hear that bass line. This one, he almost got rid of it completely. There were only 2 songs that I think on this album. Maybe a third one that actually have him in there fucking playing it. I know he said he was going in a more pop direction. I understand that. That doesn't mean you gotta take away the bass. Where's the bass man?
Bass makes everything better.
Yes. Yeah, I enjoyed their sound instrumentally. I felt like the singer, like the airy way that he sings, like adds to it. But sometimes it seems like his vocals get caught up in the mix, and you can't make out what he's saying.
Yeah, he definitely does sound very, very much quieter than the actual instrumentals. It's almost as if he's ambient noise that's like underneath the entire track for each one. My take on the album, ironically, and this is not a pun, but the album felt rushed. Because when you go from song to song, it's hard to discern whether or not you're on the next song or not. The whatever song you're listening to just seems to abruptly end, and then it cuts right into the next one with like no setup. Just it stops and it starts the next. So it's kind of hard to discern where you're at in terms of album progression. I feel like some of those songs are like that too. They're kind of hard to follow the structure with.
Not to mention, half of it was comparable to elevator music.
More or less.
Yeah.
It's very like lo-fi pop-esque.
I just say it's definitely something you can listen to in the background. It just flows well for you to hear.
100%.
Easy listening, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely easy listening background, elevator music.
I feel like for some people, the first 2 songs are going to be enough to, whether it's like to understand if you're going to like it or not, because they're like 5 and 6 minutes long a piece. So you kind of get enough of it within those first 10, 11 minutes and like kind of get a feeling if you're going to enjoy the rest of it or not.
Oh, I think they did a really good job of what they selected to let out before they came out with this album, because it definitely drew me in to disappointment. I wasn't looking for easy listening lo-fi pop. I was hoping to get funky pop with that nice little bass line that they omitted. Where my bass at? Forget the opening of Glimmer. I don't even want to hear about them joking about how the bass makes everything better. Forget you guys. It does. You ruined it.
While we're on the topic of pop, I wanted to bring up some pop singles that I heard over the week. There's one I listened to because I found out it's the theme song for the 25th anniversary. Well, not 25th anniversary. 25th James Bond film.
Didn't Billie Eilish do that?
Yes. It's called No Time to Die. It's slow and soft. The song has her looking back on a bad relationship. If you go through like the lyrics and like really listen to it, but I don't necessarily like her vocals.
Yeah, I feel like that's what throws me off of her too, because some of the stuff that I've sampled from her, like off and on, instrumentally it sounds pretty interesting, but I don't know if I necessarily like the sound that she herself puts out as a vocalist. But
I understand that she has had a lot to go through and has a lot of depressing or anxious thoughts and feelings that she is obviously working through. You can hear it in the music. But in some of the songs where she actually had a little bit of fun, I'm sorry, even as somebody who's anxious and depressed all the fucking time, I like the ones where she has more fun. I'm not saying you can't be sad and that'll make the music bad, but I like her sound when she's having fun with it. She's having a party. She's just being random. Bring it.
I feel like with her music, it's something that you need more emotion in your voice to capture me personally.
Yeah.
Because from what I've heard, she's very monotone. Now, I don't know if she's like that with everything she does, but she's very monotone in with the way she sings from what I have experienced. I feel like to capture me personally, I need to hear a little bit more emotion and more meaning in her voice.
Maybe, I think you're also might be looking for a little bit more range. You want to
Yeah.
actually hear her sing
Right,
Yup.
like
from the gut.
just
Not
I
just-
want more impactful, like, range and more volume out of her. She's very low on the spectrum, and like she stays there. If she were to change it up a little bit and add a little bit of intensity, I think it would be a little better for me.
Sam Smith put out a song called "To Die For." It's soft and slow. It's about not wanting to be alone. Sam sounds really good on this like soft track. It's a solid piece. There's also hold on. Camila Cabello put out a song called "Oh My" with the baby.
Oh.
Yeah. Her style sounds a lot like the style she used for Havana.
Okay.
And the baby used his normal flow. So I thought it was sick. But yeah, it's about what? Yeah, she sings from like the perspective of like a good woman who wants to live a little, and the baby raps from the perspective of a guy who's willing to oblige. So,
At least it fits the motif of the song.
yep. And The Weeknd launched a song titled after his new album called After Hours. It's soft and airy and slow in like the first 2 minutes, and it goes to kind of chill house vibe. And it's about him wanting to get back with a woman whose heart he broke.
Oh.
So,
Well, you don't leave yourself many pathways of redemption there, do you?
but yeah. Anyone else got pop to talk about?
Bang.
I guess if I were
Yes.
to bring back
Oh,
to
yeah,
Bang
that's right.
Rush
by
real quick.
AJR.
Shit.
I liked it.
I had it labeled as alternative.
I have been bumping it over and over, but I really like AJR. But I also hear a metal cover potential, so much metal cover potential in this song. I can already hear the instruments fucking banging, and I can hear somebody screaming through it. They don't sing a single fucking lyric, okay? They're gonna scream this whole damn song, okay? But it follows suit with today's pop, whereas the lyrics are actually kind of depressing. But he is so happy, it's so bouncy, and that little metronome moment. Ah!
Yeah, I did quite enjoy that one. It is very it's a nice tempo. You actually feel yourself moving to it more often.
Moving to it, that metronome came up, and I was just click, 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 click.
It's a good track. I actually did like that one. But Bruce, you got something to add? Kind of
The
quiet.
only thing I got is for Tame Impala's song "Lost in Yesterday." Upon my first listen of it, felt very familiar. I'm not sure if that was the vibe they were going for with it.
Why did it sound familiar? What do you mean by familiar?
Like, I feel like I've heard it before. I feel stupid.
Hold on. What do you mean you have?
He has heard it.
Oh, you played
That
it?
was the little taste song that they put out, and we listened to it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
think we listened to it after our first recording of the first podcast.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it sounds all
First
the same
real
to me.
recording or first actual recording?
I don't have a good memory. I'm the worst person to ask that.
You
I
know,
think it was our
now that
bullshit.
we're back
I think
on
it was the
that,
bullshit recording.
Lost in Yesterday. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay. I believe it was somewhere like the bridge or something. It says, "If it haunts you, face it." It like reminds me of something my therapist told me, because I'd always repress things that scared me and like tried to like avoid them, which would just cause my anxiety to be worse, which would cause my depression to be worse.
Yeah.
So I kind of liked it.
Gotta face your fears, man.
Yeah.
Can't be lost in yesterday.
You really gonna let that boogeyman under the bed fuck with you your whole life?
Why not?
Hell no! I might ask him to come out and party. He's probably just as depressed as you are on top of that damn bed. Yo, bro! You good? You wanna come out? I got snacks.
You would be the one offered snacks.
Yo! I feed everybody.
This is true.
I was raised to feed everybody. I didn't care if I was down to my last $5. If I was going out and getting a slice of pizza and you didn't have money for pizza, I'm buying you a slice of pizza. It's code. That's how you know somebody has an inner old lady. If they feed you. My inner grandma is strong.
Be one with your inner grandma.
Feed everyone.
For one day, it may become the outer grandma.
I do crochet.
Wow.
The outer grandma. That is a weird phrase.
Are we ready to move on the rock?
Believe so.
I believe so.
No, it's grandma time.
I think we've had enough of this segment.
But moving on to our rock album, which technically has metal influence, so we can just mesh the two genres into the one.
Yeah.
All right.
And what we have this week is the new Hollywood Undead album, which is New Empire Volume 1. It's only a set of 9 songs, but it's only because it's Volume 1. Volume 2 comes out somewhere in the summer. That's what they're shooting for. But, oh my. Lyrically, I think it's some of their best work. For the good like 7 out of the 9 songs. Especially when you listen to Nightmare. Because there's a set of lyrics that Charlie Scene goes into that kind of round out the album. And it's... Nightmare itself is one of the tracks that pretty much looks into everyone's inner demons and how they're dealing with them. Especially for these guys going through all, their whole music career and even beforehand. They had a lot of stuff going on, and now they're only down to 5 members. And this song pretty much gives an insight to the inside of their heads a little bit at certain times, and it's very relatable for most people. I think one of my favorite songs is Enemy and probably Heart of a Champion in terms of energy.
I would just say they were my favorites as well. Enemy, I've seen myself coming back to it again and again just to listen over and over again.
It's a non-stop headbanger throughout the entire thing. It caught me off surprise with how heavy the guitars went.
Mm-hmm.
They did say they were going for more of a metal-oriented sound overall, and I feel like they very much delivered with this album.
Now, do you think... You said that Volume 2 will be coming out in the summer. Do you think they're going to be ties from Volume 1, or do you think they're just going to be, like, 2 separate entities?
I think they're going to keep the same sound. I don't know if anything's going to relate in terms of, like, story, if there is a story between any of these. They have done something similar in the past, because if you listen to Bullet and Coming Back Down... Well, Coming Back Down and Bullet seem to be 2 sides of the same coin. They just come in the wrong order on the album, unless you pay attention to the lyrics. Because I'm not going to get into too deep of them, because that's not what we're discussing. But definitely go pay attention to those lyrics for Bullet and Coming Back Down, and you can hear the relation. So I feel like they could do the same kind of connection with the second volume. It would be interesting to hear. I'm definitely excited for it. And there are actually 2 surprise guests on this album. On Upside Down, we have Kellen Quinn from Suicide Silence? No, not Suicide Silence. I always forget the band name. I hate myself that I forget. But yes, Kellen Quinn. Definitely, it was because they're not labeled as features. But as soon as you hear the voice, you can't not recognize that voice, because it's very unique, and it was very interesting to hear it on this track.
I've heard Kellen Quinn singing in a completely different genre. He was just doing an acoustic, like, little coffee shop type deal kind of thing. You still recognize him. He doesn't
absolutely.
have to. He could sing a gentle lullaby to a baby duck, and you would still recognize that this is Kellen Quinn.
Does it only happen when he's singing to a baby duck?
No, but it could.
Okay.
And then our second surprise feature is on Second Chances. It is Benji Madden from Good Charlotte, which was also nice to hear, because they've been silent since, I think, 2016 for the most part in terms of Good Charlotte themselves. I don't know what he's been up to lately, but hearing his voice on Second Chances, it's very fitting. He brings a nice, like, tone to the song, and I like his lyrics too. His lyrics are actually very, very nice for it. But I like the chorus for that one. Running out of second chances, dead friends and dead romances. It, like I said, I think lyrically, it's some of their best work. But I'm also just a Hollywood Undead fan in general. I love all of their stuff, but definitely excited for part 2.
Another song we have in metal, we've got Dance with the Devil by Burning Witches.
Put that under hair metal. It sounds like 80s hair metal to me.
Yes, those girls were born in the wrong era. Not that they're not good, they were fucking great.
Fantastic.
But I also couldn't look away from the video because, hot damn, it was nice to see all of them looked fucking great playing their instruments and singing their vocals. But if they were to have been born in 80s, holy shit. It would be a household name. We would
Yeah.
have pictures of these bitches everywhere. Or these
yeah.
witches. Pardon my language.
Witches.
Little word pun.
Yay. I love fun words. Asking Alexandria dropped a new song called They Don't Want What We Want. It's when I clicked on it, I was expecting metal, because that's what I expect to hear when I see their name. But it was very much so hard rock.
I liked it.
So did I. It was rather political, but that
Yes.
can be assumed from the name. But yeah, I thought it was a great song, start to finish. So
We also have Halcyon from Animate, which is off their upcoming album called Greyview. Halcyon's a nice little track. It definitely does hit pretty hard. New singer as well, but he hits some very low notes when he goes to scream, and you can feel that in your chest. He doesn't go very low in terms of like deathcore low, but he brings some intensity with it, and he doesn't do it for the whole song. He does it like just the right moments. Does hit pretty hard. So does the breakdown, which I think they do twice. So definitely interesting.
Hatebreed dropped a new song called When the Blade Drops. It's hard and fast as fuck. I was not expecting that speed from them. But it slows down at the end and increases in brutality.
Well, I mean, that's just
You want to hit someone at the end.
that's standard Hatebreed.
So it goes on the cannot drive in the car list. Or cannot listen while driving the car. Pardon.
Depending on who you are.
Me.
Because if I have silence, I have to do 120.
Dude, silence just makes me want to pull over. I'm like, the car can't work without music. If there's no sound, I need to stop.
No, you have to hear the RPMs.
Eh?
Without music, you need to hear the RPMs.
No, I need the music.
No.
Music.
Rev limiter.
Music.
Rev limiter.
Music.
Balance the
Music
needle
makes
off
the
the rev
car
limiter.
run.
Bouncing it off the red limiter.
Praise
With
be the Lord
music.
of combustion.
All right.
Back to Earth?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Polaris dropped a song called Landmine.
Oh,
Heavy as all hell.
Yeah.
So good.
It really, the same feelings that I get when I would listen to, like, Jekyll and Hyde by Five Finger Death Punch, only magnify it times, like, 5 or 10.
Yep.
Like, there is no way I could be around anybody that I have ever had any beef with that song in my veins, because I just fucking headbutt a motherfucker. And I'm not fucking violent.
Headbutting would not be
marshmallow.
recommended.
A mini marshmallow.
I'm excited to see what else they put out next, because if the majority of the next album is anything reminiscent of that song, or has aspects of them, like aspects of that song in the rest of it, I'm gonna be playing it on repeat, 100%. You also have the new Bowling for Soup song called Alexa Bliss. I don't exactly know who Alexa Bliss is, but there's different instrumental songs or different instrumental aspects on this song, because some of the riffs are very like metal oriented riffs, and then you have even some of the ways that they sing on it. There's a tiny section where he goes for a little bit of a growl, which was quite interesting to hear. He only does it the one time, but it was, I'm not gonna say it was out of place. I was definitely surprised just to hear it for that little like half second. But
The way
Oh.
you're saying it, it sounds more like you're thinking it was a little uncalled for.
no, it was odd to hear that from them. For the type of sound that Bowling for Soup puts out, it was very odd. I'm not saying it wasn't, not needed. I think it was nice, but I mean the song itself is just a great track for the whole 3 minutes that it goes on. I didn't think they were gonna actually make something else. It's been a while since they've actually had original stuff, but it's not too bad. So, and moving on to our electronic and
Our dumpster fire.
yes,
All right.
Why is it a dumpster fire?
Because it's everything. We have EDM, R&B, alternative, and anything else you could possibly think of.
Misk.
Yes.
I wouldn't call it a dumpster fire. I'd say it's the dumpster water.
the dumpster water.
The juice that leaks from the dumpster. The
Well, that
grimy, scummy dumpster juice.
The dumpster nectar.
we shouldn't be calling it a dumpster fire.
nectar. That's perfect.
We shouldn't call it a dumpster at all. But yeah, we'll just call it the unsorted crate.
The junk drawer.
Ooh, I like that name.
Okay.
Oh, we missed out on a good podcast name.
We actually did.
Yeah,
Damn.
Is it too
Sorry,
late to change our
guys.
name?
I think so.
Okay.
We can't rebrand just yet.
Oh, what do you mean we can't just yet?
Not just yet.
So when can I turn myself into a symbol?
Now.
All right, cool.
Wait for it. Wait for it. And now.
Okay.
I am now the co-host, formerly known as Ed. Okay, I am officially a symbol. The symbol's invisible.
Okay.
All right, works for me.
Ronnie, will you be the drums if he's the cymbal?
Yes.
Boom.
But anyway, the first song we have.
That was horrible. Like Tame Impala's opinion of bass.
All right, so first song we'll start off with the EDM is "The Storm" by Thefatrat.
Okay.
Is a lovely song.
Yeah, I love the Middies flavor.
Can't understand a damn word of it.
What?
Well, it's
no. It starts off in like.
I'd probably say it's Dutch. Probably.
Is it?
I don't know.
So it was another language. That was
Yes.
actually my
It's-
first question.
yes.
What
It
language
started
is
off
this?
in another language.
Yeah.
But didn't it go to English?
It comes into English for a few words, for like maybe a couple sentences, then it goes
Yeah.
back into the other language.
thought it
Just
did.
enough to make you think that they're speaking English the whole time, and that you just can't understand them.
You're apparently deaf.
Am I?
I mean, if you thought that they were maybe speaking English at one point in time.
Oh no. My very first. I mean, you can check my notepad here. My very first thought is, what language is this? Because there's no way in hell they're speaking English right now.
Oh, okay.
And it goes. My little note goes on to say, doesn't matter because it has a great bouncy flow. Like I was
Yes.
enjoying the shit out of it.
It's very good. It's definitely a lot of feel good vibes that just happen to come out of it for its entirety.
I think it might be personally for myself, good like work music. Like I'm running around kind of bouncy flowing. Anything with enough energy, I can just keep moving, keep functioning like a fucking shark. Never stop swimming. Can't
Perfect.
stop.
Oh, so apparently the language they sing in is Na'vi from Avatar.
Really?
Yes.
Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute.
So it's not
Hold-
a natural language?
Hold on. This is going to be in the new movie then. How much you want to bet?
I'm not sure.
There's a new movie?
Yeah, they've
They've-
got a whole like
They
series
got
lined up.
they got 2 movies apparently lined up so far.
They're working on the first 2 sequels as we speak. Like they're already filmed. They're in post production.
So when were you guys gonna take the rock up off my house?
I don't watch movies.
They've been in production for years. They're doing a weird thing with these movies where they're filming them all and then doing the post production afterward for each one, so they can just keep releasing them in succession.
Not a
That's
bad
why it's
idea.
taking so long for this next one to come out.
Okay.
It's not a bad idea though.
But if that's the case, I feel like this song's going to be on the new soundtrack, which I would be excited for. I want to hear more of that type of style if that's the case. Not even just from them, just from other artists if they're going to do it that way. So. And then Searle had a new song.
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Yes, DJ
Okay.
Searle.
I had no idea. I was like, cereal. You're cereal now. All right, Lucky Charms, let's go.
I was just saying S3RL.
I
Which
said
is how it's
cereal.
written. But DJ Searle released another track called You Are Mine.
13-year-old me crushed a monster and then went out to the DDR machine and was just just jamming out to this shit.
Okay.
Searle's very upbeat in general with most of
Yeah.
his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for the genre he's in, happy hardcore, I'd expect it to be happy and high beat.
If I don't find it on the DDR machine at freaking Dave & Buster's or wherever the fuck I find a fucking DDR machine, let me tell you, I'm gonna be disappointed because it'll just fit right in.
Just let him
See.
know. Just let him know.
I will let him know.
Do it. Just throw soda in their face.
Tell him.
Well, if it's Dave & Buster's, it could be a real drink. I could throw alcohol
Yeah.
Whoa.
and then throw a match, a lit match.
It doesn't actually burn that easily.
It doesn't work that way.
Depends on how high proof the alcohol is.
Exactly.
Still, it doesn't burn that
What if I
easily.
bring in my own alcohol?
What if she uses Everclear?
Still doesn't burn as easily.
would
Modern
already-
Rogue did a video testing that, and they showed that it's not very
Why
flammable.
you gotta ruin it? You can just
Yeah, it
go
would-
along and let me have that.
No.
No.
Buzzkill Bruce.
Well, then I guess.
Well,
I'm
it's
gonna
not the
have to
only
learn how
buzz
to
I'm
breathe
killing
fire.
here.
Damn. All right. Is there any more electronic music for us to talk about?
I do not
I
believe
don't
so.
believe we have anything else.
All right. Well, I found out about a was it an artist from Hackney, East London, by name of B Young. His song "Wine." I had it as a focus song. I enjoyed like the Latin vibe from the beat and his smooth vocals. I thought it was a solid piece.
It was a very solid track. Very, very smooth flow. Very good transitions in terms of like verses and the chorus. I liked it.
I personally wouldn't really listen to it over and over again. But I did. I thought he had a beautiful voice. I liked the sound. Even musically, I liked the sound. I thought it was beautiful. But it's not for me. It's not my thing.
Fair.
And then Yizzy, who's a grime artist from Lewisham, South London. He dropped a song called Prince of Grime, where he goes after AJ Tracy, Jammer, Mez, and Dot Rotten. Yeah. He goes over multiple beats. He fucking killed it.
I tried looking it up. I could not find it.
I couldn't find it either.
Really?
Yo, I had no problems finding it. This was yet another sick grime beat. I fucking love all the grime beats. I've yet to hear a grime song that I don't fucking enjoy the beat and just get hypnotized in it. But I wish I could fully understand him. Even with subtitles, I was getting lost lyrically.
Really?
I really was. But regardless, it is a dope jam that I will be bumping.
Yeah, Wiley, well, actually, he's an originator of the genre of grime from Bow East London. He dropped a new song called "The Game" with a dope beat, good lyrics. It's pretty much him just bragging about being him, you know, being a founder of that scene and shit. So I thought that was pretty dope.
It's always good to toot your own horn once in a while.
Yeah. Well, they do that a lot in grime and rap.
Well, this is
It's-
true.
It's kind of what they do.
Narcissistic assholes.
How dare they?
Anything else to add to the junk drawer?
I do not believe
Or
so.
unfiled crate.
Unfiled crate. I like that.
I prefer unfiled crate.
No, I'm stuck on junk drawer.
I
Fuck
also
y'all.
like junk drawer. Or the unfiled junk drawer
We're
crate.
on the right sides of this argument right now. All right, are you ready? Do you have a thing ready?
Sure. The junk drawer should be the name for the segment because, 1, I like it, and 2, you guys suck.
Oh. All right. I guess
Hold on, it took you 4 hours to write that? Jeez.
Look, it was hard to find the second reason, okay? I had to keep away from it, but in the end, you guys just suck.
Okay.
Well, this table is currently a 50-50 split, so
I guess it's time to move on the news. Ozzy Osbourne canceled tour dates due to illness, although the tour is going to continue without him.
Illness?
yeah, he's got a lot of health issues going on lately.
Yeah, they didn't specify. I forget what country he has to go to for the treatment, but he's on a waiting list, and he won't be able to get treatment till April, and the treatment takes 6 to 8 weeks. And then, in some funny news, someone made a website called Fuck T-Pain. Right?
Oh, yeah?
That's very targeted.
Well, T-Pain bought the website
Oh.
and now profits from the proceeds that come from that website.
Now,
That's how you do
isn't
it.
that
Wouldn't you?
ironic?
That is fucking legendary.
Wouldn't you? I would.
That's how you do it.
If I had something with my name on it that said "fuck me," I'm gonna have a picture of me on that site after I buy it, like my thumbs up.
That's what you just do the background as you scroll through it as just your face.
Nah, dude, it's gonna be me in a fucking throne, like popped up with just 2 thumbs up, real awkward style.
That's how you do it. That's how you counteract the trolls. You buy the website they make to target you and make you look bad.
Hell yeah!
That's how you do it.
Yep. What was it? Royce the 5'9" wants the hip hop community to embrace therapy, which I think, I mean, us as a society should. Because
Absolutely.
there's a lot of people who struggle from a lot of shit.
Statistically, pretty much everyone needs to go to therapy or should go to therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy will help you with anything.
Yeah,
Yep.
to some degree, we all eventually will need it. It's whether or not we choose to make that choice.
It's a hard choice to make, you know, because 1, you got to pay for it. Yeah, 2, you got to go there, but it's worth it. You know, it's why I don't drink anymore. You know, it's
Absolutely. Even just the short bursts that I've gotten to go through, it was relieving. You get your first diagnosis, like you know when you think something might be wrong with you. And that doesn't mean that you are wrong. That doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. You just know you're not functioning at what you feel like quote unquote normal should be. Getting that first diagnosis was not a death sentence. It made me feel better. I went, okay, that's the name of the demon I gotta fucking fight. I'm ready to fight him. That I have the tools now. I know what I'm up against.
Yeah, I have a streamer that I watch daily, and I think it was a couple days ago on a stream where he was talking about therapy because he himself is gone, and it's made him a better person. But he had said that you talking to other people and opening up about potential issues you might have is your first step to going and making yourself a better person in terms of trying to mitigate the problems, or because you're not going to eliminate them entirely, but having more control of it. So having that first step of opening up in general will bring you halfway closer to actually going to therapy. You just got to eventually make that choice.
It's just it's a shame there's still, even with how we are today and how we're more open with it and more willing to go to therapy, there's not as much stigma. It's still there. Some people feel weak for doing it. You are not weak if you go to therapy. You are one of the strongest people ever. I have sat in that chair and sweat until I slid out of it. This is not a joke.
yeah.
I started sliding out of the therapy chair. because my therapist was so uncomfortable that I told him all the bad shit after I told him the bad shit that happened. I was sliding out of the chair seeing how uncomfortable he was.
Yeah, that does happen. Like, sometimes you drop some shit on them and they're just like, oh, God.
But let me tell you, he didn't make me feel like there was more of an issue with me. He didn't lean... That's one thing for your friends to joke, but he doesn't lean back and, whoa, you're fucked up.
Yeah.
No, that's not how they work.
Yep.
And let me tell you, I might have been anxious on the way there. I may have been anxious driving home. I felt 10 times better, and still feel 10 times better having gotten to speak about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have friends. Yes, I have family. I can talk to these people. But sometimes, it's like talking to a wall.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just hear you and go, oh God, I need to keep an eye on you, not, oh God, here, this'll help you. Sometimes just listening and not saying anything can be the best help of all.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we got too serious. Get out of therapy. Go.
All right, now don't go to therapy.
No, you go to therapy. Therapy is good, but we need to get out of therapy right now.
Actually, do go to therapy.
Yeah, therapy's good for you.
Yes.
Makes you feel better.
Yep.
On a brighter note, moving on to tour dates.
We're moving on tour dates.
Oh, you have any more news?
I mean,
the way.
Canada fined StubHub $1.3 million over misleading pricing.
And what is StubHub?
Claims. Huh?
What is StubHub?
StubHub is a ticket seller.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So the site claims that they have a filter option that will allow you to see the additional fees, but according to Canada, since you had to do all that, it's bullshit. So, yeah. And
Good
as
for
according-
Canada.
Apple Corps won a $77 million suit against 77 people and small businesses that were selling counterfeit Beatles merch. This is according to Digital Music News.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
Don't counterfeit things, guys. It's bad.
Yeah.
Okay?
We're not having this discussion again.
Pirates is bad.
So, as Ron was
Pirates
saying,
good.
we are on the tour dates.
One that you pointed out was Post Malone on
Yep.
February 21st.
He'll be at the Wells Fargo Center at 8 o'clock.
So, and that'll probably be when this gets uploaded. But damn, if I'd have known about that, I probably would have looked into tickets.
Yep. Lil Baby will be at the Fillmore at 8 p.m. tomorrow night, which would be actually tonight when the
When this
pod
goes
gets
live.
uploaded. Yeah.
I just want to point out that the Fillmore is a very nice venue. I've been there twice already. Went there once for Mike Shinoda,
Mm-hmm.
who put on a very good show, by the way. But the room, it's not necessarily too small. It is a smaller space, but the acoustics are very, very good. And then I saw Hollywood Undead in there.
You gonna go see Trippie Redd on Saturday
I don't think so.
at 8 p.m.?
I don't think so.
He'll be at the Fillmore.
No.
What about Jack Weiss on Sunday? Also at the Fillmore.
Probably not.
All right. Also on Saturday, Naughty by Nature, Arrested Development, and Black Sheep will be at Franklin Music Hall
That's
in
an
Philadelphia.
That's an
Or
interesting
Jersey.
lineup.
Yeah. So, what do you mean it's interesting lineup?
You say interesting lineup, but your face says you smell shit.
I don't personally listen to any of them, but
Really?
other than yeah,
You don't listen to them.
no,
Oh, let me move closer to the mic so it picks it up. Really? You don't listen to them?
no, I don't.
Remember, Ed, you have to do the opposite of what I'm doing.
You got any tour dates? Because I went right for the hip hop and R&Bs. Or no?
I don't know what's coming up just yet. I know the one in May that I'm going to, but that's in May. As for this month, I don't necessarily have anything just yet. I didn't get a chance to find anything.
All right. Upcoming albums.
Well, Dio, for one, is doing remasters of some of their older stuff.
Which I am greatly looking forward to.
I don't know when they're coming out. I haven't seen any release dates for them. But it'll be interesting to hear what they're gonna, like, how they're gonna boost it. Because a remaster, generally, to me, for that genre, tends to mean it's a lot cleaner of a mix. So they might boost bass, they might boost the treble on certain things. I don't know. Have to wait until it comes out. But I would love to hear a remaster of the Holy Diver album, if they do one.
Yes. I demand it. Not even a request. I demand it. And if nothing else, just do Holy Diver. Just please. Please.
So Royce the 5'9" is dropping his new album, Allegory, on Friday. So is Young Boy Never Broke Again. His album Still Flexin', Still Steppin'. So, anyone else got new albums?
No, sir.
I do not believe so.
Ozzy has Ordinary Man. That's coming out on the 21st. Polaris has The Death of Me, coming out the same day. The Word Alive. The Word Alive has Monomania coming out. So, just a couple highlights to see if anybody. I mean, I'm probably gonna check out The Word Alive and Polaris, but other than that, this week for metal, it doesn't seem too interesting for me.
All right. Anyone got anything else to add?
I know Nathaniel Ratliff has a new album coming out called It's Still Alright. I have heard that song because he did release it as a little taste beforehand. I hope the rest of that album happens to be a little bit more upbeat and more fun like the rest of his older music than this. Because it was slow, it was sad, but it was a thinker. Outro!
We're rolling with the outro?
Unless Bruce has something.
No, we should all just scream outro. It's perfect.
BTS is coming out with another album called Map of the Soul 7.
7. Oh.
I'm glad our pop host dropped that piece of knowledge.
I did a great job.
Wasn't calling anybody out.
Entertaining this evening. Thank you very much.
All
Oh,
right.
it's actually set to be released on the 21st of February.
Well, isn't that tomorrow?
That will
Yes,
be
it
the day that
is.
this is
That is tomorrow.
It was actually supposed to be out already. Oh shit, hold on.
Wait a
Hold on.
second. Today is tomorrow.
Oh,
Well, I see what we're talking about next week.
Today is today, but yesterday is tomorrow.
Oh my god.
In the words of Mr. Krabs.
Ooh. I guess now we do the outro.
all right. Well, this concludes our weekly podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with new music, albums, and songs to talk about. Till then, have a great week. Stay safe and enjoy the noise.